Welcome to Travel Nation. Today, we're taking you deep inside the US states that have taken a strong stance against immigration. These are the places where laws, local policies, and political rhetoric send a powerful message. Immigrants are not welcome here. Whether you're exploring your options to move, travel, or just seeking to understand the political climate, this in-depth exploration will reveal what's really going on behind the headlines. Texas. The epicenter of border crackdowns, Texas, one of the most prominent anti-immigration states, has implemented some of the most aggressive enforcement tactics in the country. Under the Operation Lone Star Initiative, Texas deployed state troopers and the National Guard along the southern border. The state even passed laws allowing state officers to arrest people they suspect of being in the country illegally. One law would even allow Texas to deport undocumented individuals, something that, until now, was exclusively a federal power. Texas also bans sanctuary cities. Under Senate Bill 4, any local official who refuses to comply with federal immigration detainer requests could face removal from office or criminal charges. Florida. A state of hostility, Florida has turned into a hotspot for anti-immigrant policies. Governor Ron DeSantis has pushed through strict laws targeting undocumented workers, including one that requires all employers with 25 or more employees to use E-Verify, a federal system that checks employment eligibility. Hospitals must now ask patients about their immigration status upon intake, a move critics say is meant to intimidate, not protect. Florida also bars local governments from funding identification cards for undocumented immigrants and refuses to recognize any out-of-state driver's license issued to them. Deportation cooperation with ICE is active and enforced. Arizona. A history of harsh laws. Arizona was once at the center of national controversy over SB 1070, a law allowing police to stop and question individuals about their immigration status if there is reasonable suspicion. Though parts of the law were struck down, its legacy still lingers. Arizona maintains close cooperation with ICE and refuses any form of sanctuary policies. Public universities have tried to block DACA students from receiving in-state tuition, and driver's licenses are still denied to many immigrants under temporary status. Alabama. Deep South, deep restrictions. Alabama's HB 56 law was once dubbed the most anti-immigrant law in the U.S. It allowed police to detain anyone they reasonably suspect of being undocumented, banned undocumented students from attending public colleges, and even made it a crime to give them a ride. While parts of HB 56 have been blocked by federal courts, the state's attitude remains unfriendly. Employers are required to use E-Verify, and state agencies are mandated to check immigration status before providing any public benefits. Georgia. Education and employment barriers. Georgia has gone beyond borders, targeting undocumented immigrants in higher education. Several universities, including the University of Georgia and Georgia Tech, deny admission to undocumented students, even those protected under DACA. Georgia also enforces E-Verify and bars undocumented immigrants from holding professional licenses, making it nearly impossible for many to work legally in skilled trades, even if they meet all the other requirements. Mississippi. Strict laws with a low profile. Mississippi doesn't make as many headlines, but it quietly enforces strict immigration measures. The state requires all employers to use E-Verify and passed laws to restrict public benefits for undocumented immigrants. Raids on poultry plants and other industries have resulted in hundreds of deportations, and cooperation with ICE is deeply integrated into law enforcement practices. Tennessee. Punishing sanctuary support. Tennessee passed laws to prohibit any city or county from adopting sanctuary policies. Local jails are required to honor ICE detainers, and the state has debated even stricter laws to criminalize helping undocumented immigrants. In some counties, law enforcement officers are trained under ICE's 287G program, giving them direct authority to check immigration status during stops or arrests. South Carolina. Zero-tolerance approach. South Carolina has adopted tough employer enforcement laws and made it a felony for undocumented immigrants to apply for a job using false documents. Police are allowed to check the immigration status of anyone they arrest, and local governments are banned from enacting sanctuary-type protections. Oklahoma. No access to public services. Oklahoma passed a law banning undocumented immigrants from accessing many public services. The state also prohibits issuing any identification cards or driver's licenses to undocumented individuals. Law enforcement regularly shares data with federal immigration authorities. Iowa. New laws, old ideas. In 2024, Iowa proposed several bills that would detain and deport undocumented immigrants without due process. These laws mirror Texas in both tone and intensity. The state has also cracked down on landlords who rent to undocumented people and increased background checks tied to immigration databases. A pattern of exclusion. What connects these states isn't just legislation. It's a political and social climate that fosters fear and exclusion. Immigrants, especially undocumented ones, face barriers to education, work, healthcare, and even basic freedom of movement. Even legal immigrants or U.S. citizens of immigrant descent often feel the chill of these policies. While cities within these states may offer some refuge, Austin in Texas, Atlanta in Georgia, statewide policies often overpower local efforts. If you're planning to move, travel, or advocate for immigrant rights, understanding these state-level dynamics is essential. Thanks for watching Travel Nation. Subscribe to stay informed and empowered with the truth behind borders and policies that shape